Hi, this is Dr. Justin here, and today's post will be on organic food. This is actually a commentary that will be posted below from a blog article all about this same topic. So why organic food? Well, to answer that question, we first need to know what is organic food. So essentially, organic food are plants and animals grown without pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, insecticides, etc. So all of these chemicals that essentially are designed to kill bugs or other types of invaders, usually using chemical means. And usually how these chemicals kill the invading bugs and invaders, usually it destroys the reproductive system by affecting hormones, or it destroys the nervous system. And it's interesting enough that they actually have some effect on our reproductive system and nervous system as well. If not, you wouldn't see skull and crossbone labels on the different insecticides as they're being blown or crop dusted over these crops. So again, organic criteria tend to be different across the board. You have some more stringent ones, like biodynamic farming tends to be the highest. Then you have ones like the USDA organic seal, which is pretty good. Usually these organic labels, they require at least 3 years of a land being chemical free, so no herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, etc. And then you have to adhere to organic farming methods, whether it's tilling, water, using specific manure, etc., or rotating crops to consider that land to be organic. And what we see is the chemicals and the pesticides that are actually put on the soil, what they tend to do is they tend to destroy the mineral content in the soil, and they also tend to destroy the microorganisms in the soil. And this is really important because the microorganisms actually feed off the minerals, and then the minerals then are shunted and liquefied and shot right up to the plants. So plants don't really eat dirt. They're being sustained and being fed by the microorganisms that essentially break down animal matter and actually break down minerals and shoot it up what's called the mycorrhiza, up these little plant filaments and go directly to the plant, and that's how the plant survives. So it makes sense that the pesticides and fungicides and things like Roundup and different chemicals that are used, they destroy that whole mineral balance, and they also destroy all the microorganisms in the soil. Therefore, you're going to have plants that are not going to be as healthy looking. They're not going to have the same spectrum of minerals, and there are many studies comparing organic to conventional, and the mineral content isn't even close. Not to mention, forget the fact that the nutrient content is better, according to most research that's not industry funded. But you're also getting less toxic load. So we know there's about 2 billion pounds of chemicals put into our environment per year that are man-made. So the less amount we put in our body via food and water, the better chance we have for our liver to handle all the exogenous chemicals that are being thrown in front of us. So again, a couple different examples are we have increased nutrition, all right, and then we also have decreased toxicity. And it's really important too because then the animals, it's like a circle of life. For an animal to be healthy, it needs to eat healthy plants as well, and it has to be natural. For instance, cows don't eat grains, cows eat grass. So even if a cow is being fed organic grains, it's still not its natural diet. Just like in the store we see chickens being fed flax seeds for enhanced omega-3 content in the eggs. Well, that's still not a biologically appropriate diet. Chickens eat bugs and they kind of just roam around and eat, bugs and insects and stuff, and they shouldn't be fed soy and flax. That's not a biologically appropriate diet. So again, we need healthy animals not being injected full of hormones and antibiotics, eating healthy plants that aren't given a whole bunch of pesticides, as well as biologically appropriate foods that the animals have eaten over millennium for us to have healthy animals and also healthy plants. And actually, there's been a couple of studies. If you watch the documentary, The Disappearing Male, that documentary is very fascinating. So what it shows is that a lot of these pesticides and chemicals, they are estrogen mimickers, all right? Otherwise known as xenoestrogens. They are man-made estrogens. And what they're finding is a lot of environmental runoff from these estrogens affecting different water supplies. And this one study was actually looking at the Everglades, and they were looking at alligators, for instance. And they were actually finding that the female alligators were not reproducing with the males. And they came to a conclusion that they mainly were not because of the small genitalia of the male alligators. So how's that happening? Well, they actually were doing blood draws on these male alligators, and they were finding estrogen levels. That's a female hormone, right? It gives female traits. Estrogen levels in these male alligators were actually higher, or just as high as the female. They were almost indistinguishable. And these were also essentially demasculinizing the males. So again, every male listening now should have your attention loud and clear. You want to be avoiding these compounds, and you're going to be doing that by eating healthy organic animals and healthy plants as well that are organic too. So I hope this video blog kind of gave you guys some great information, and you can start applying some of the tips, which is just eating organic plants and animals now. Thanks.